Hi there, people. Welcome to Uber Man UK. I do get a lot of people asking me about Uber. Do you recommend it? How to get your license? The usual stuff regarding to get a private hire license. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not with the times anymore. It must have been round about 2 years. Was it 2017 when I actually give up Uber? I only did it for 9 months, and I'll be absolutely honest with you. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. As I said, I have never worked for myself. I've always been employed. So I thought, let's take the plunge. Yes, I was a bus driver for nearly 15 years, and I wanted to try something different to suit my life at the time. So I decided to try Uber. Because at the end of the day, I know around Manchester. I know the ins and outs around Manchester. And I thought it'd be a good experience and a chance to make lots of money. So I went through all the rigmarole of getting a test. And I should have known there and then what it was all about. This is not Uber's fault. It's actually getting the flipping thing, getting the license, getting the badge. You have to go through test after test, documents after documents. And when you've actually are a private driver, when you've gone through your local council, which was Tameside, to get your license, you go up to Uber's head office and you go for your first day experience or whatever it's what it's called. So I went there and it was very professional, I must admit. It was in Manchester, a lovely building. You watched a video, they explained how much money you could make, and they were saying how you could earn £1,000 a week. They had tea, they had coffee, they make you feel welcome. They had all the modern stuff available. So I was quite impressed at that particular time. Till, and this is it, till you actually on the road. Now, to actually get into Uber itself, actually to work for yourself, you've got to have a car. Now, I got a cheap, what was it, a Dacia? I got a cheap Dacia car, and it was around about £8,000, which was cheap. It was petrol 1.2, and it didn't cost that much, to be honest, for fuel. But, now this is the but, then I had to pay for insurance, and I could not believe how much insurance they wanted. It was anywhere between 3,000 plus for a new private hire driver. £3,000 for 1 year to be an Uber driver. Now, remember, I've been to this induction at Uber head office in Manchester, and they explained to me I could make £1,000 a week doing average of 40 hours with a mixture of shifts. So I was positive I was going to make that money. But on the first day, as you see, my first day there, people, was nervous. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I did the first trip, which was, if I remember rightly, Audenshaw to Manchester. It was average of three or 4 miles. I'm not exactly how sure, but wasn't it? And it was at rush hour, and I think it cost the client £10. I got £7.50. And it took me half an hour to get there at Manchester. This was at peak period. £7.50. That's what I got. Now, if you minus my time, if you minus the insurance, if you minus the car, plus you've got to minus your tax as well. Also, you got to minus your badge. How much badge? Which is about £300 a year. Insurance, petrol, cleaning costs. I could go on with the cost. And if you worked it out, I was earning for that particular half an hour of a trip a couple of quid. So I soon realised the first day, what did I make the first day? I think, I'll be honest, I did about 6 hours, to be truthful, and I made under £40. £40 I made within the 6 hour period. So how am I going to earn this £1,000? And I tried different things. I went on peak periods. I tried when it was night time. but I still could get nowhere near. What was I making average per week? Four to £500 per week, minus your petrol for that particular week. So minus your petrol, it drops down to 400. Minus your insurance, which is about 60 quid, which is now down to 340. Then you've got the cost of the car, which is at least £100 a week. Now you're down to 240. Then you've got your badge. So I was lucky, out of that pot, what I had, I was lucky to have £200 in my hand. And then you've got to do your own expenses. You've got to do your tax and insurance. Now, I'll be honest with you, the tax and insurance, I could not earn over the threshold of whatever it is, 1,200. I couldn't even earn anywhere near that because of all the expenses I had to pay. So I soon realised that I couldn't earn the money. And how people I could earn £1,000 a week is complete and utter rubbish. I fell in the system of believing these multi-million-pound companies because I was naive. I was honest with you. Whatever they told me, I believed. And on paper and on graphs, it really looked good. But when you're out there, when you're sat in your car, bored, nothing to do, sometime waiting up to half an hour for a job, and the worst case scenario, you waited half an hour and you got a request and it was a couple of miles away and you went a couple of miles and it was only let's just say round the corner for the client, which is a minimum of, I think it was £2.50. I got like £1 something for that, which is absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't make the money. And how you guys and girls make the money, I don't know. Because as a bus driver, you're earning round about £400 to £500 a week for 40 hours. Minus your tax and insurance and all your other stuff, you're coming in your hand about 350 as a bus driver. So that's what I wanted to earn, and I could not earn that kind of money. If to earn £1,000 a week, I'll be honest with you, you have to do at least 80 hours a week. And God knows if you minus all your expenses, how you actually make that particular money. But end of the day, would I recommend Uber? Definitely not. It is the worst experience I ever had, especially working wise. People say it's good. I watch YouTube videos about it and how much you make, and people making lots of amount of money. In Manchester, I could not make that money, to be honest with you. I must have been doing something wrong. And eventually I got sick of doing this at the certain hours. So I just did 6 hours a day. That's all I did. My heart wasn't in it. My soul wasn't in it. I couldn't do a good job because I didn't feel that I was being rewarded for all this work, what I had to do to get to be a private hire driver. All this work and there's no rewards. And it was embarrassing because I give up a career in the busing to come to be an Uber driver. I took the leap of faith and I definitely fell off a cliff. The only benefit it was good was being the boss, picking my own particular hours I wanted to. I could work around my children, take them to school, pick them up, and work at weekends when I had suitable childcare available. But I really don't want to work 80 hours a week to earn the amount of money I earned on the buses. Because I found dangerous. Working 80 hours a week is no good for anybody. Because you go home, you're moody, you're tired, you're knackered. Yeah, you sat on your ass all day, let's set that. But it's a constant boredom sitting around these hot spots waiting for that ping. And remember, people, when you hear the ping, it's definitely not ka-ching. That was one of my slogans I actually said at the time. But that's the only thing it was good for, family life. I could pick and choose. I couldn't pay for a family. I couldn't pay for a mortgage. I barely it just covered my cost, to be honest with you. Yes, I probably did something wrong. I should have worked silly hours picking up drunks. I tried to be nice to the passengers. Yeah, and tips. Did I get any tips? I couldn't even tell you how many tips I got. I bet it can count on my hand. Now, I'm a nice chap. I like looking after people. Open the door for them, help them with their bags. And still, tips, no. Because everything's done on an app. And there wasn't a tip option back then. So let's just say there's one guy, I remember, I went to pick up Ashton at IKEA. I pulled outside. He had loads of stuff. I helped him all in the car, all the stuff in the car. Took him all the way to Manchester. Helped him unpack it. Even took it up to his flat, which was right at the top. How much did I get? Sweet, nothing. And that particular trip, I got, I think, £11. And it took me round about, I'll say 40 minutes to get there. So you minus Uber, £9. Plus helping him, I thought, oh, come on, I'm going to get a tip here. No tip whatsoever. I should have learned with the clues. IKEA, cheap. So they're not going to give you like a fiver. Oh, thanks, driver. I appreciate all your hard work. I appreciate you hurting your back. And I appreciate you doing all this for absolutely nothing. So I learnt my lesson that day. I didn't help anyone, be honest with you. Now, if they was old or disabled, yes, of course I will. But if they're able-bodied, now this person was 25, and I think he just got a new flat, so I helped him move in. I took the stuff up. He actually in that flat itself. But I learned my lesson that day. I definitely learnt my lesson. Everything was against me. And my first day, my instincts, and I usually do listen to my instincts, told me that this is complete crap. Get back to the bus as soon as possible. But I give it a go. I give it about 9 months. Then the situation come along where I needed to earn money. Because end of the day, my relationship ended. So I was on my own then, and I had to stand on my own, and I needed to earn money quickly. So where did I go? I went back to the buses. And I must admit, it was the best decision I ever made. I can earn the money what I'm used to now. Just do the standard 40 hours, have enough to live on. I have a flat now. I still live on my own. There's no girl or anyone, no relationships. Yes, I'm probably still, let's just say I'm single. I perfectly like being on my own. I love it. You can just do what you want, to be honest with you. There's no emotional pressures. If you want to go to the pub, go to the pub. If you want to watch something on TV, put it on. If you want to cook crap, pizza or the kebabs, you can do it. Me, I doubt I will ever get involved with anyone again, to be honest with you. I'm so comfortable being on my own. It took a while to get used to it, to be honest with you. And there was periods of time when I did get lonely, especially at first, because I lived with mum and dad for a few months till I was able to get my own place. First day in my place, difficult. It was extremely difficult. But over the years, which has been, I would say, nearly 2 years now, I've got all my house decorated. I've got the things I want. I put my rubber stamp on. It's my little man cave. Yes, and also a lot of people are asking about Sophie was in my last video. Well, she's a friend, put it that way. Okay, she's a friend. She does me a lot of favors. She's a really nice person. And I'll be honest, I'll be lost without us. Especially this flat would be lost. I'm not going to say any more. But let's just leave it at that, shall we? Because I don't want to give too much away. Can't give all your secrets away to the world. Yeah, don't give your secrets away. I wouldn't reckon. I'd say go back to Uber. I look back now, and I think to myself, was it a mistake? Well, Partly it was a mistake because I couldn't earn the potential money. Things might have changed now. You've got to let me know, people. You've got to give me an update on the situation. When I do see Uber in the paper, it's all negative, how much money the company's making, but nothing from the driver. Like with this recent court case, what is going on? I don't know anything about it. I still think that it's still against the drivers. They need to do more for the drivers. They seem to focus on the customer's needs, which is, yes, I accept you need to look after your customers because they bring the money in, but you are missing the most other important person in the industry, which is the driver, the person who's taking your passenger from one destination to the other. You've got to make him happy. You've got to pay him a decent wage. Uber operates on this system where it's cheap, and that's why people use it. It is very cheap to use and very convenient. A lot of the other taxi firms in and around Manchester have got a similar device now where you just tap a phone and the taxi comes to pick you up. It has changed the game of taxiing and private hire for the better or worse. The worst is that there's no money in it anymore. You can't make a decent living to support your family. The good part is it has gone more modern, like with the app, which is a good thing. There's no doubt about it, because people don't want to ring up saying, "Can I have a taxi, please?" Especially when they've had a few shandies. All they want to do is tappy, tappy, tappy. The taxi or private hires outside, get in it, go home safely, pay the bill. Cash, you don't use cash anymore. Everything you do through card. Even I do. Even when you go to the pub now, when years ago you didn't even think about using your card. Everything is boop, boop. That's all it is. Everything is cardless now. Cardless. Anything's contactless, sorry. Because it's so easy and convenient for this way of life because everything's so fast. Everything is, no one ever stops. And for example, you go in workplace, or let's just say you go in a cafe now in Morrison's, and there's a couple there or a family. They're not talking to each other anymore. They are on their device, playing a game, talking to a friend, and sometimes they're talking to the person opposite. So technology is advancing in some ways, but it's losing the social aspect of life. Even me, I'm always on my phone, like probably you guys and girls are always on your phone. It's the way forward. My employment, I would never ever leave. Yes, I'm still a bus driver now. I still work at a well-known location in Manchester, and I'll give you a little clue. Is if you're in a taxi, there's usually lots of luggage in the boot. That's a little clue for you where I work. I've had permission if I could say where I work, which I've been granted, but there's a little clue. Where do you think I work? You've got to let me know. There's a little quiz for you here. And I'll be honest with you, it's the best company which I've ever worked for. It's the easiest bus driving job I've ever done. And I've worked at First and I've worked at Stagecoach, and they're quite, I won't say regimental, but you've got to follow a certain rules and regulations. There is no seem to be fun or enjoyment in bus driving in them particular companies. Basically, you go in, do your job, and go home. But where I work now, it's very family, excuse me, family orientated. Everyone works together. Everyone works as a team, which it should be, and it works well. And I will stay here as long. I will stay at the company as long as possible. I'll never move again. They've been too good to me. They've helped me through certain stages in my life. They give me a job at the worst time of my life. And if you follow my videos regularly, you would see why. I'm not going to talk about that, to be honest with you, because it's not fair on the people involved. And in years where people do look back on these videos, it's what would you say? It's a part of life, end of the day. No point saying any negative things. What's happened. You've got to move on with your life. Whatever cards you're dealt with, you've just got to deal with it. Deal with it. I am quite happy now. I've got a good set of friends. I go out with regular. Yes, to the pub. I see my children, which I love very much. There's no doubt about it. We do have a good relationship together, and everything's going good. So, but any questions? Now, I want you to give me a question which, well, I don't get asked. I don't usually respond to the question because this is owned by a different party now. They get the revenue from these videos, but they require me to do a couple a year. I don't have the camera anymore. Everything's filmed through my laptop. Plus, I'm not updated on Uber like I used to be. But one thing good about being an Uber driver is you guys. I had the bizarre idea of filming everything from the start of my journey to the end of my journey through YouTube, and it's took off. It still gets, I'll be honest, around about 2,000 views per day, and it scares me sometimes because if you're going to sleep, if you're waking up, if you're making your tea, someone is always watching you. Someone's always there. Scary thought sometimes because someone's actually looking at my ugly mug, following my journey. My subscribers are going up slowly, which I had a look at the other day. It was about 1,200. So people still subscribe even when I don't do regular videos no more. I used to have a little GoPro and used to take it everywhere. That's knackered now. It's 2 years old. It cost me £300 and I used to take it everywhere. I used to film every single bit of the journey, the experience, how I feel, even when I got the news of when I passed or failed, which still does quite well. But the most popular one is the first day of being an Uber driver. That still does extremely well. I looked at some of that intro, that long intro, which was on about 45 minutes. And I look back now, Jesus Christ, that was too long. And I paid around about £40 for that intro off a company. And I put it on a few videos, and I accept it was too long. Look at the comments. People still ask what I'm up to, what I'm doing. I'm still here. I'm not dead. I'm still here, enjoying my nice single life as a bus driver. I go in at work, do my job, and go home. And that's what I want. I don't want to mess around with taxes and insurance, putting the paperwork, self-assessment. I don't want all that crap. All I want to do is go into work where everyone's friendly, everyone's relaxed, go home end of the week and get paid. That's how simple I want it. I don't want the stress and the strain of working out my finances. Have I got enough money to pay my car loan off? Have I got money to pay my insurance off, monthly payments? I don't want that. I just want to go in and do my job. Can things change with Uber and the taxi industry? The easiest way is put the prices up. But they are regulated by the local governments which are in place, and they set the particular affairs, how much to charge. And Uber want as many people as possible using the service, so they keep it low. You have to let me know what you think, people. You really do. This video has gone on long too. Can't get my words out. This video is 24 minutes now of me constantly yapping. I have missed doing YouTube. I have missed the experience of it all and answering people's questions and listening to what they say and watching their reactions on my videos and watching the views go up. I do miss that particular part, but that's the only thing I miss about Uber is you guys. And I do want to thank you, and with all my heart, all my energy, of still supporting me over the years. I really do appreciate it, people. And I do read your comments, but it's very rare I actually answer them, to be honest with you. Because my heart's not in it no more, people. Because it's not my job anymore. The game's changed. It's nearly 2 years, so I wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about. I appreciate that, people. I will do updates, say twice a year. I will tell you what's going on, how I think and feel about things. That's not a problem. So thanks. I appreciate every single one of you for watching this. And if you've watched it for the end, you definitely deserve a lollipop, I must admit. Because it's getting to nearly half an hour and you're still here. Usually YouTube videos don't last more than a few minutes. But this one is looking to be the half an hour range. Take care, people. Look after yourself and look after each other. And still stay subscribed because I will do updates at least twice a year. This is Uberman UK. Weird me saying that after all this time. Bring back some memories. This is Uberman UK signing out.